Saturday's showdown, B&K Furex versus Guangdong Freaks.
Can help protect a Maokai that perhaps gets caught out of position, but otherwise, you know, here it's just going to be trying to make Deft the main character. You've got two strong 80 carries that will scale up incredibly strong in the late game.
KT Roll still look to try and keep themselves alive here in the LCK and summon. Let's jump over the rift. Take control of the lane. Things could become a problem. The W empowerment that you do get with the Rakan and the Xayah does have pop. But yeah, I don't know about this one, as Canyon's just going to be moving in, looking for Pyosik, and she will discover him. There we go. Pyosik able to at least hold on to the big one, I'm pretty sure, as Twisted Advance pulls him over. BDD rotating up as Chovy is behind him. Presses W, able to get so many autos down. This vision is brilliant, as there's the Nature's Grasp. And Canyon gonna put them to sleep. The flash forward, but Perfect, I think, should be able to cut this one off. If he can pick up this kill, it would be gigantic. With the rest of Gen G, they're coming over, and it's the big one that's able to take him down. BDD taking first blood.
Just go straight back to the wave.
And here's the double down tactic coming on through. We're looking for a bit of a dive as Pyosik just moving on in, taking the easy route, and there is the Nature's Grasp. They get behind Pace because he's the one with the cleanse. Lehens is still going to get stunned up. Extendo Beam does a fair bit of work as now Pyosik holding onto the wave. There's the ulti. They look to take down Lehens first, and they'll successfully do so. Turret was tanked by Pyosik. He had a wild growth, and now they might even look for more as Pay's just going to get destroyed. Twisted Advance for a last hit. That's a cool way to do it. 6 scrubs will be the trade, but I think the KT are okay with it.
Yeah, and it's not turret, especially with a champion like a Draven, but they identify.
Oh dear, that was not where Keen wanted to go. As Perfect just going to throw him back. We'll see whether the Mini-Nut can get this one done, as Keen's going to have to flash. Perfect flashes into the brush. Q is going to miss as a result. He bounces back though, and he's going low. They're both going low. The boomerang comes in, and it's Keen that locks it up with a return Q.
Oh, look at Perfect's reaction on the player cam. He knows he messed top side, so not able to help out. And Keen goes in by mistake with the weirding here, misplaces it, and then Perfect goes for the punish. Let's watch his first-person view and see what he has to say.
Like the flash, knows that he then has to make sure he doesn't get hit by a flash boomerang. But I think it's just the amount of consistent damage that you have with this champion.
Yeah. With the passive, with the autos, yeah, you can see the frustration. Like with the autos,
it's really tough to see where his mind is going to go next. I think Leandri's is almost always a thing, but he likes Riftmaker as well, like a lot.
Yeah. Pretty good in top lane as Canyon is a little bit isolated here.
Yeah, Pyosik moving on in. Pretty tanky here on the tree. As BDD now in position, Pays pressing that W as Nature's Grasp does come down. He pushes Canyon back, and he tries to put some circles down. Speaking of circles, the flash out from BDD, and Deft is already dead. Can they find the fight though, as Perfect finds an ulti, but there's 0 follow-up. And BDD cannot get any autos in here. Chovy sees blood in the water as the crush over the wall for Perfect gets him to relative safety. It's only Deft that's fallen down so far, and you can see BDD still trying to stand his ground, but KT, they have to get out of there.
I mean, the Aurora creates such an insane, artificial front line here in this draft, and Perfect's ultimate a little bit late to actually save the day or turn that one around.
He knows about that one, especially here in the mid lane at about that position. That was where Bulldog did the jump scare previously. So they're not going to get caught out for that one, but you can see the Gen G able to get a bit of a shove towards this turret. 6 scrubs barely needed here, as 4 members of Gen G will be enough. Yeah, yep. You can see Chovy just probably not going to move down. He is going to teleport though, as we can see. So I'm a little bit caught. That's going to be BDD finding some rocket damage though onto Lehens. They're going to fight for this Drake. I thought maybe they just give it up, but no, Perfect now looking for his angle. Keen on a good one as well. Perfect still trying to find that flank as the Sapling's doing a lot of work. That's going to be Pyosik blocking down the Dragon. Canyon's in trouble. He goes golden though. The Whirling Death flies in, and there is the circle. That's Deft picking up the first one, and he gets over the wall. Taken down is Beryl though, and there go the rest of the dominoes. Pays now relatively low, but Deft by himself is not going to be able to get anything done here. Over the wall, and Pays could be in trouble here. Deft going down very, very low, but I think Jovi's going to be here, and his ex-teammate's just going to cash in.
This ult in there, basically.
Yeah.
And then, or like a Rumble Equalizer that's in a big circle. And then you have all of that damage plus the ability haste on her ultimate. So her ultimate is up all the time. You know, you can get a pick before a dragon and then use it on the dragon fight. You could just, okay, well.
Yep, there's that circle that you were talking about. Beryl is going to flash out of it as Pyosik throws down the ulti. Wild Growth comes in there as well. And he does soak a lot. Both him and Beryl are going to need to go back home, and that means that Gen G could have an opportunity here. They have lots of damage, as you mentioned before, Wolf.
Yeah, and look at that ultimate on Keen, by the way. Like, it's not going to be up for this contest, but I don't think KT have the health bars to make this work. They're going to pull Gen G off the Baron.
Yeah, Beryl actually still just wandering around with 200 health here, making everyone very, very nervous. Bowling ball, not going to connect onto Beryl, who was the preferred target. And dissuaded from the Baron for now, Gen G. Please go home, Beryl. I'm just, I'm getting a little bit worried.
One step forward, 2 steps backwards here as Gen G can just start this up again. This time they have the turn. This time they have a good set. They look for a pick to start it. Now they can turn with Keen's ultimate back online.
Yeah, Perfect looking to stack up some Nava here with the Baron. They can even see it. It's going down so extraordinarily quickly. Daft, he's not going to be able to do anything. Pyosik was nowhere near. They're going to look for a fight instead. The circle goes down one more time, and Pyosik is just melting. A tank? I don't think so. That is just more money for Chovy as Perfect is jumping out of there. Pay's going down low, but he's got the Feather Storm. Def still looking to try and fight this one, but it is Beryl falling down. Def now flashing away from Lehens, and he will at least be able to escape for the moment. BDD, very large health bar, as Canyon once again just going to utilize that stasis beautifully. And Gen G now with Baron in hand are looking to push it even further.
Yeah, I mean, it's 27 minutes in. Long respawn timer on BDD. They may just end here. I think they have a pretty good chance. TP to mid, and that is it. You just win one team fight. Keen's second ultimate there. He gets it back online. Everybody dies. Definitely an angle to potentially push further because in the extended fight, Keen gets his ultimate again. Yep. But again, they want to cross their T's and dot their I's. 15 seconds on that ultimate. He could use it on the turn on this dragon if KT want to contest. This Aurora champion seems pretty good, Atlas.
Yeah, and KT are just a sacrificial lamb. They're the team that has to demonstrate to all of us.
That ability name was pretty strange, but I'm kind of getting into it.
Ooh, BDD actually. Never mind. He's dead.
Get weirded.
Yeah, he got a little bit. Things went weird. They certainly did, and he is most definitely across the veil now.
Why would you play Victor when you could just play this?
Yeah. All right, Gen G going. Well, I mean, no one plays Victor, so I think it's fine. He might get some quality of life buffs, though.
Arcane incoming.
Arcane Season 2. Let's see whether Aurora makes it into that show, because right now she's looking strong enough to get there. As first, Nexus turret going low, but in goes Pyosik into the backline. My God, he went on a journey. Chovy's in a whole host of trouble, but not as much as the trouble that KT are in. The Wild Growth on Deft does absolutely nothing, and it's Keen that's going to lock him down. Nexus is to follow, and just before 30 minutes,
they were able to get a few 100 gold. The advantage, you can see it there, that red blip. But it all started to go wrong when we hit those big team fights later on. Keen, top damage in the game, and it's no surprise.
Yeah, this Aurora is broken. Please ban it. It needs to be banned every single game. It does not belong on the Rift in even match.
Being able to handle the lane pressure certainly can be good to stop dives. Pyosik wants to play through bottom lane and try to get Deft ahead, get the plate gold. It's very difficult to dive in Nautilus Ezreal because Ezreal has his arcane shift, and the Nautilus is to win the matchup is very scary. I think Perfect might have an angle.
There's the Cass sponsorship. Is she actually going to...
It says
she's down in it.
Yeah, it says if Keen's POGM one-shot in the Cass, and she did
it!
One-shot it. Yeah.
Nice. Opposition. We'll see whether that is what's going to happen as we jump into the Rift for game number 2. Also respond quite nicely.
Well, you know, Nautilus is going to offer less than 0 in, at level 1 probably into this comp down here on the bottom side, so I get that.
Not great stats though. We saw Moham actually, playing yesterday for the first time in the LCK. It was actually great to see him. He had a decent game on it, but it didn't quite work out. As now Beryl comes in, and Chovy, he might just be dead. That is going to be first blood going over to BDD, and Chovy just didn't even get to the wall to flash.
Deal, not the Vamp Scepter we saw him get on first back in game 1.
Wait, now Pyosik is back. Well, I mean, Pyosik is here for the first time, because last time it was Beryl going for the gank. Now Pyosik is just going to push Chovy into the jungle. Canyon already here. Sapling does scout out the brush. As Pyosik moving in, I don't know whether he really wants this, but watch out, Eep is just going to be used on the camp, and I believe Pyosik just managed to get that smite. So pretty even trade when it comes to these global objectives. Beryl spotting some things out. understands that he isn't seen here by Canyon, who is going to get stunned up, but not able to walk through the Hextech minefield. Lahen's going to do that, though, as now Canyon lit on fire. BDD comes down. The satchel is gorgeous. Chovy's coming in, but they're looking to try and close in on the Lilia. Hook going to connect onto Deft, but the follow-up is not there. And now Pyosik is going to turn up. It's a double for BDD. And oh, KT, stop it!
Triple for BDD. Great skirmish there. 4 kills now on BDD's Corki. He is insanely big. I'm hyped about it. And his satchel sets it all up.
That's a real happy day. Look at Harai. Harai is like, it's not even...
is accelerated and obviously has a pretty great late game as well. As speaking of, Lahen's nearby.
Yeah, BDD actually not quite winning in this trade. Does finally pick it up as the bowling ball goes wide. Beryl and Pyosik in position. And that is a twisted advance to go in on this one. Magnus Storm connecting onto 2. The Nature's Grasp as well holds them in place. The flash forward, the shutdown gold is on the table, and the watch out Eve is going to seal it. They shut down the Corki, and Beryl is going to fall down as well, as Gen.G will let Pyosik live for now, but 2 kills off the back of that one, and Gen.G are on the board.
It looked so good for KT at the start of the fight. Lead is still there.
It is. And this is a much better looking game too this time around as well, as Canyon coming on in looking for Perfect, whose Dominus is on cooldown. He's going to flash. We'll see whether the slice is going to be back up, and it looks like it's not going to be. He does get the W off onto Keen, slices around a little bit, but that is still going to be the kill going over to Gen.G. And now
top lane, like in the alcove for a lot of that. But the flash, you know, coming back in and pulling them there might have been in range. We'll see when we get into the replay, but
yeah, you got Lahen's just bodyguard for Chovy here, as Perfect is going to move in.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, could be dove once again. Avoids the hook and now just wants to clear out the minion wave. He's going to be successful in that, but I don't know whether he's going to be able to keep himself alive. That's the cash in for Chovy. And Perfect, after navigating the early game so well, just dying twice in a row, it will be that we'll get another charge to come through from the Rift Herald towards his top side. And with 6 grubs, I think this cannon barrage isn't going to be enough to be able to stop this, as BDD tanks up the turret for a very long time, but there's another minion wave coming in. Keen going to get pushed back. The crash down is going to get the flash out of Keen, who's slowed down by the Bramble Smash. Hook is going to go wide, and in a turret in trade for a Crocodile. You take that.
Yeah, very deftly played though by Keen. Like
he's going to move over and try and answer it as the bowling ball goes wide.
And okay, we're still threatening here.
Yeah, Lahen's actually going to go in as the cannon barrage comes down and splits up the fight. BDD can't really get in there, but Def with the Mega Inferno Bomb this time is going to be able to lock down the kill. And Beryl somehow gets out. Keen is burning down. BDD locks up the kill, and now Pace in trouble. BDD splashing after him. He finds the kill. It's the 7th kill for BDD in this game.
BDD is just taking over the game. Great ultimate there from Deft, and also, Chovy.
Oh, yeah, Chovy, if he managed to get that shut down, that'd be a big one, although he did get shut down after 4.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, maybe just play that one a little bit safer there, Chovy. Very close, playing on the edge as Deft scouts this out.
Yeah, Canyon runs really fast, especially with that passive stacked up. Deft doesn't want him to get on in here, but he's still going to be able to lock this one up. BDD going to spot him, and he just teleported in. Canyon, this is a, BDD with a hotline to Boris. He's taken all of his stuff, Wolf.
Playing like this is not a strong KT team. They're playing so disrespectfully.
Would you blame them?
No, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, we were pretty down on them going into this, but this Baron is also a little disrespectful, I would say.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's KT. They're going to go for something like this. I don't necessarily know what it means. This Mega Inferno Bomb is going to connect. It's a lot of damage, as Keen also down to about 50%. And Gen.G, I think they might just be giving this one up. The barrel goes in and fizzles out. That's going to be KT locking up a Baron.
They didn't even use Pyosik ult. They didn't even need it. Gen.G.
Here for Gen.G, they've still got this ward down as Lahen's just not allowed to walk through. Leandri's now completed here for Deft as well. And there's the flash forward from Pyosik, looking for Pays and for Canyon. As Chovy moving on over. This Gen.G squad is still very, very scary, but there's no cannon barrage for this fight. It has been so important in the last ones. And Canyon also just taking so much poke damage. Chovy can't walk in. Even after pressing W, it's not going to quite work out. And Lahen's, he has to get out of there as well. This is going to be the Drake secured by KT. And Gen.G, I don't think it's worth the risk.
Yeah, I mean, it's just an Ocean Drake. Let it go. Scale.
Yeah.
That's the game plan. QSS picked up here for Chovy, but now he has his artificial cleanse online. As,
Yeah, Canyon, I'm not sure what the intention was, but he's going to get crashed into. Deft is going to come down. Bouncing Bomb is not quite going to land, but that watch out Eep was in a weird direction. And Canyon, he's going to go golden again. It worked in game number 1, but that's because he had teammates around him. This time, he was alone.
I mean, Canyon is having a real rough game, to be honest with you, Atlas. He is playing super disrespectfully, super greedy. It's kind of reminiscent of his final year. But we are not going to just check.
Oh, okay. There is a ward over the wall, so they do get the information. Stand aside is going to hit Beryl, and Beryl says, and what?
Very sneaky check there from Canyon, but once they get rid of that ward, they know they can start this one up.
Yeah, that is going to be a Scryer that's now on cooldown as well. Cannon Barrage right on top of BDD, who just Valkyries out of it. Canyon moves over, and that's a big cooldown. And Gen G, will they be able to actually fight without that Cannon Barrage up and available? That's the question.
Top lane STP, but KT are saying, look, your Ezreal's out of here, GP's in the bottom lane, we're going to threaten your inhibitor, we don't need a Baron.
And this is going to go down so incredibly quickly as well. 6 scrubs and a satchel. We mentioned structural damage. I don't know what's going to do more, structural damage or emotional damage. If KT's going to win this game, it's going to be a bit of both for me. I can say that personally. As KT,
once again,
gonna look for it. This is beautiful macro play, and it's making me mad, Wolf.
It's so good. I mean, why can't KT play like this all the time?
Yeah, right?
Keen has no barrage, as you mentioned, has a TP, is going to utilize it, but he's so far away. Here comes Canyon for the flank. Perfect says no.
Whirling Death comes in. Canyon is just pushed out of there, and BDD is flashing on top of another target. They'll wait for the goldenness to go away. Beryl in a little bit of trouble here, though, as the bouncing bombs are coming in, and Deft able to just outrange. They do sidestep the Mega Inferno Bomb as Pioshik. KT looking like they are erring a little, but now they're not. Lahen's gonna go down. There's the Magnet Storm as Keen just flashes right into all of them. A beautiful Mystic Shot will connect there from Pace. He's still playing pretty well, but they'll lose a Baron, and KT will win yet another fight. Chovy's out of this one. Pace is gonna try and cleanse the Crocodile, but not this time. Pioshik, he's got a full health bar and a dream, and a twisted advance. Good night, Pace. That's going to be a game 3, I think, Wolf.
I think so. Pioshik's dream is FaZe's nightmare. Double TP into the mid lane, and KT Rolster do it again. Only the second team to defeat Gen G in a game here in summer. The only team to defeat them in a series this year domestically. That's it, lights out.
Yep, they have the best win rate against Gen G this season out of any other team. The most wins out of any other team if they're able to take this one, as Cannon Barrage is going to kill Perfect. The Nexus is still up. Let's see whether KT are going to be able to close this one out, as BDD in point blank range against Keen is not exactly the greatest. It was a trial by fire. He passed, and the Nexus will go down. KT will bring us to 3 games against Gen G.
Ults. It was just KT living the DRX 2022 dream.
Yeah.
And you know what? When KT wins, they look so good.
They do. I don't know what it means. I'm not even going to speculate. I think BDD getting 100% kill contribution had something to do with it. Denial for Pays is kind of a big deal. Smolder! Oh god, okay, so BDD has been playing this very recently and finding a lot of success in solo queue. I thought it was kind of a meme though, but he's doing it. You know, they take away Aurelian's carrier. But Beryl has done it in the past, but he's also played Ashe, and he's got a decent skin on this champion as well. I believe he has won the last 2 of his games on the Smolder in the mid lane. See how it goes. Jump out of the rift.
This is going to be on him. Keen can try to neutralize this, but obviously topside will get less plate gold because of the lane swap protection.
Yep.
And Callista Ashe can really put the pressure on this cannon. It's going to be hard for him to get XP. He's trying.
Yeah, trying to get into position for it. As Keen will just get bullied away.
Picks up some XP here. And
so BDD probably pretty happy with that right now, with a lot of pushing power in this mid lane. Smolder has gone through a bunch of different changes. Doesn't necessarily scale as hard as he used to, as Def. Not going to take any turret aggro, but is getting hit by the minions. He's only level 2, as now they're looking for the dive onto Keen. He's only level 1 though. That is going to be first blood going over to Pioshik. A beautiful dive.
I feel like I will give Perfect some credit because the assumption is Pays and Lahen's have backed. He waits for a really long time. The Hawkshot also doesn't see. Oh, saw the edge there. Maybe he just wasn't looking. And even still,
Oh man,
this is really
heartbreaking because he knew. They thought that they'd done enough homework to make sure that he's going to be safe. Oh, and it's not quite enough. Have that Mega Gnar, so that'll get a little bit of health back into the Gnar as Canyon moving in. KT not going to get caught by the Aqua Prison as now Beryl going to have to flash. Needs to respect them, gets out of there, and that is a lot of extra pressure relieved on this bottom side. And they're going to have a bit of a niche pick.
Yeah, no, for sure. And, you know, there's only one Halo Blades in here. The Callisto not going to opt into that this time around. Oh, Canyon's here. Seen.
He is seen. Glacial Prison is going to go down as Fate's Call will be claimed. Beryl looks for the knock-up onto Canyon. Doesn't find it, but that is just an R button in trade for this little gank here on the bottom side. He was up against the wall, so that sort of gives away what might have been happening. As the arrow, the flash comes through, but the arrow is still going to land. Now the frost shot is going to connect. I think this is another kill, and Deft will pick that one up.
Bit of a weird. We go to the mid lane. They keep clicking on Chovy. I just want to see the stacks. There's another arrow.
Yeah, going to be picked up by Chovy. Like you were saying, the volley going to connect there as well as BDD wants to find a Q, and there it is. Flap, 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 and he takes him down. But it is a 1-for-1. A little bit of assist gold going over to Beryl there at the same time.
Oh, man.
Here on this bottom side.
It's Ocean again, which is, you know, really horrible here for KT considering the advantage they had. Worst case scenario basically is, uh-oh.
Yeah, that's a pretty nice Captain Jack there from Deft as the arrow will connect. Deft gets the shield. He is going to go down, but will they be able to trade it? But Pays here as the teleport's coming in. Perfect. Makes his way down. Pays knows that he's dead. He's going to buy as much space as possible, but Lehens is also going to fall down. The Hypers are procking, and this fish has nowhere to swim. Perfect's going to be able to lock down that kill. Pays is also dead, and they'll trade it for Deft.
Yeah. And Def can sacrifice some eco for that as Chovy is going really deep here. Does not have teleport, and KT are aware of this, so they may lose an inner, but let's see if Genji can contest the Herald. That looks like a done deal.
Yep, Beryl is on a ward. Perfect taking a lot of damage from the combo out of Kane. But like you were talking about, I mean, this is just Chovy behind a turret right now. And that is such a huge gold influx here for Gen G, able to take down an inner turret. You could tell that KT were making that decision intentionally. I just don't know whether it was the right decision to make, is now looking to try and fight Gen G away from this turret. That is going to be successful, but Chovy's also looking to try and take down a blue buff. Arrow is going to fly on through, gets the Valkyrie out. Chovy just nowhere in sight now. He is going to be able to go back home with so much more money.
And push the Gnar, grab some gold. I mean, BDD's just stacking. As long as you could defend this turret at the same time, I feel like KT really give not too much here. It's just a solo Ocean Drake.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. They are going to do exactly that. There's a flash forward, though. The slicing Maelstrom just does nothing. Mom comes down and says, nope, get the heck out of here. Beryl's going to be shielded up as Pyosik tanks as much of the culling as possible. And that is just Keen dead.
Perfect is still in the side as well. They're going to pick with the Smolder, you know? And it's a great play from Pyosik. Gets there, gets the smash.
His first evolution from BDD as well. Look at him. He's starting to get mad. He's starting to realize his power. And this dragon might be able to do it as the Rift Herald comes down in the mid lane, and KT, they'll claim a gold lead once again or get very close. There it is.
Yeah, so, yeah, that's an issue.
Being able to make Kennen sleepy while he goes in with his big electric circle is pretty good oftentimes. They did manage to mitigate it last time around as Pyosik gets the ultimate off as they throw in the Glacial Prison. So no junglers with ultimates right now. Perfect and Chovy are fighting as Mom comes down, splits the team fight. Hayes gets sneezed on and it hurts him so much as BDD throwing out these Qs. And man, now that evolution has come in, that the big one giving it that splash damage, and it'll only get worse as this game goes on.
Yeah, you get to 225 so fast here. BDD gets low.
Yeah, and there is the slicing Maelstrom. BDD going to be taken out. Keen will be traded as Pyosik looks to get out of there. It's a 1-for-1, but a turret as well for Gen G. They're trading up.
Yeah, they are trading
also
up.
Very, very close to being picked up as Perfect. This could be an overextension. The rest of his teammates are coming down. That's a teleport to come in. Is now slicing Maelstrom onto the Gnar, and I think he is just dead. Does flash. Glacial Prison comes in, just barely misses, but Chovy has a rocket for him, and that is a dead prehistoric Yordle.
You could see the moment where he realized, and I think it was just before the TP show. It might have been not there, but consider that, you know, if they do try to contest for Baron, he could TP.
All right, Pyosik's gone in. He wants to find an angle. There's the Nature's Grasp. Mom comes down, doesn't do a whole lot as the Glacial Prison is a fadeaway, but Deft is going to pick Beryl up. And Beryl wants to find Canyon. Arrow now down. Fate's Call now down. And there is no Nature's Grasp as well. Now the teleport's going to come in, and Gen G, it's time for their salvo. They've just got so much more in the chamber for this next fight, and KT know it. They're going to use the Flying Dragon here to come out as Keen looks for it. Twisted Advance comes in. He's tanking the turret, and he just goes down. Beryl's going to lock it up, and Keen waited so long for that play.
And he didn't go for the ward in the mid lane, which would have given him the space to actually, I think, stop KT from getting out of their jungle there. He took the safer route, but that meant that he had to really hard force there if he wanted to get the engagement. Perhaps just don't hard force. Just take your W in terms of positioning on Baron. Now he's down Flash and Ultimate here, as well as his teleport. And BDD is scaling, man. He's getting stronger. He's level 16 here. Look at the damage.
Yeah.
You can feel the desperation out of Gen G and Keen in that failed play, as they feel like they're running out of time.
Well, KT, they might do the KT thing and just start up Baron. That is precisely what they're going to do. There is a Canyon alive. Chovy down to about 50% here as there are volleys flying in. Pays looking for some of that poke damage, and so is Chovy. These rockets starting to hurt. Aqua Prison doesn't land, but the Baron just goes to KT, and they'll exit. Stage left, crush over the wall from Perfect. Yeah, that would certainly be that. So we're not going to allude to that one.
Hey, we didn't have to explain that replay because we talked about it before. Ult here.
Glacier Prism once again, but it's once again soaked by Pyoshik. Mom gets the big value, and that's a wallop. And that is just cat food. The Nami's not doing it this time around as Keen's going to get breathed on. BDD not touched in this fight. And KT, they wipe down 3. They take an inner turret. Less and less. That Infinity Edge, that may matter.
Yeah, so it's not quite a package, but it feels like, you know, Amazon finally delivered on that one.
Yeah, I would say so. Okay, Mom comes down, splits the fight. Lehens and Pays basically out of it. From that point, another ultimate going to be traded here, but the inner turret is going to fall down. And it is incidental cues from BDD, getting Lehens completely out of there. And then we start making, you know, the same excuses that Chronicler did in the debate. It's like they just abused a broken Smolder. As now Pays, yeah, he's going to agree with us on that one, but Mom is going to go wide completely. She was given the wrong coordinates, turned up the wrong school, but it doesn't matter because these Qs are just burning them down. This is the arrow connecting. They had to eat the McHale's onto Canyon, and Pays in trouble. Perfect. I don't know about that wallop, but we might be able to find an ulti here as they get into the choke point. They all stand behind Canyon, and he is delivered. The execution from BDD, and that will take down the Sejuani, and Keen couldn't find a way in. Either for Gen G or for KT, and this is a lot of responsibilities. That is Keen needing to be McHale's himself. The Nature's Grasp comes down. Mom gets mad at Lehens. And he also takes a pierce here from Deft as well, but doesn't do a whole lot.
Yeah, not ideal here for KT. Those are some of their best tools actually just tossed into the bin. Gen G handled it well. Canyon going in.
Yeah, he is obsessed with hitting Pyoshik with these ultimates. I don't know whether it's working because BDD's putting himself as a big target. Chovy's gonna go down. He just gets brambly smashed towards the team and eliminated. Pace, no health bar. Lehens, he has to go back. The base might be broken right here.
I mean, it looks very likely. Baron is up, but KT have their eyes on this inhibitor without it. And with Canyon, no ult, no way to punish. Keen, he's got flash and ult. Maybe he could try to make a play on Perfect, but then you won't have that ult for the Baron.
But the inhib.
Oh, how much health? Somebody click on that. Get the Baron off of the play regardless. And KT are living up to their peaks from so far away. It's almost guaranteed they should be able to get this inhibitor.
Yeah, Arrow is going to soar through, but doesn't exactly find anyone.
Checking their flanks, making sure there's no teleport ward. Look at all the control wards. KT doing their due diligence here to make sure Keen has no angle of attack.
Well, Mom is going to come down once again. She's just zoning. We'll get them out of there, and with the Baron, KT might be able to land this one. The ulti not going to land, though, from Canyon. So that's going to mean that KT should be able to get 2 inhibitors off the back of this one. Getting closer and closer to victory, but still, at this point, it's close to 40 minutes into the game.
There are some flank wards now here. KT need to be careful.
Yeah, the back considered here by BDD. Wanting to stick around just in case. KT, I think, need to do everything as a unit, and they absolutely need their Smolder around as Perfect. That was a little bit dangerous, that movement, but the Nature's Grasp does come on through. Great McHale's, and it's Pyoshik that's taking a lot of the damage. Good flash out there from Lehens. He could have been the pickoff, but now it's the teleport flank from the cannon, and he's going to get in there. Oh my god, but they just destroy him, and it's perfect that turns the engage on its head. Deft is dashing into everyone, but he's got a GA, and the Bramble Smash comes down. Chovy lying on the floor, and we've made fun of Deft for flashing in the past. This time, he's the one laughing as KT will once again ruin Gen.G's perfect season.
No perfect season for you, and it just feels like even though no one would say it out loud, we all believed it could be possible. KT with a 2-1 win. He made a huge play there to defend against the follow-up, and man, it was not Canyon series. I think we have to kind of admit that, but it was KT's, and this team as a 5-man unit, the family vibes, no family snapshot at the end, barrel doubling Deft's damage.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Jisun for the POG interview translation, joined by the KT Roaster, BDD, and Pyosik. In the match between Gen.G and KT Roaster, KT not only secured a match victory, they also handed Gen.G their first loss of the summer season. Congratulations! The KT Roaster reached an impressive peak today. How do you feel about defeating Gen.G, who were on an undefeated streak so far? Well, considering our previous match, our performance was very, very, low. Also, our playoffs kind of destiny was, to be honest, unsure. So I was pretty worried, but today we made it happen. I am so glad that we pulled it off. Yeah, same. We were on a 2-match winning streak, so we were definitely going through a very hard time. But thanks to all the hard work from the team, we managed to bounce back and get a win today. BDD, KT Roaster is the only LCK team to defeat Gen.G this year in the LCK. Last time you defeat them was Spring Split round 1, and that's the after that match, Gen.G started off a 29 match winning streak. How did you make it happen again? I mean, I don't know how it happened, I can't look for a specific reason, but I think definitely today was a better day for us, and we were feeling a lot better, and we were performing better. And it's a 2-1 victory. You guys dropped first game, but bounced back and got 2 wins in a row. I think especially game number 1, Aurora was the key pick. So I want to know your thoughts behind this champion and why did you let it through? So Perfect played a lot of Aurora in our matchup, and he was confident that we can let them take it and deal with it with a NAR pick, but obviously it didn't work. And BDD in game 2, you had an incredible performance on Corki. So how do you view the laning phase against mid-Draven? Well, I'm not that familiar with the matchup because Chovy is the only player that actually plays Draven in the mid lane, and I sometimes even watched his stream and it looked pretty difficult, but today our bottom duo did a fantastic job winning the lane, so I was able to get some help from them as well. And then in the third game, you were the first pick to play Smolder in the mid lane. We heard you were practicing it a lot in solo queue though. What kind of research did you do against Corki? Actually, I haven't played any game against Corki, and it was definitely not easy. But my teammates made sure that they are buying time for me, especially for the Smolder to scale. I think the synergy with NAR's ultimate looked great. How did you feel to use this combination in this game? I mean, we were not looking for that combo. It's just really strong in the late game. And Pyosik, game 3. KT had 380 carries in their comp, and also the opponents also went for a Lucian Nami bottom duo. And the early lane swap caused some trouble for KT. So as a jungler, how did you handle this situation? Yeah, because of the lane swap, we were losing a little bit early on. So I was just reminding them to be careful, and we cannot really help what's already happened. So I told them to wait until I hit level 6, and I managed to kind of help out the teammates. Now let's take a look at this replay where KT Roaster turned everything around. Cannon was in a perfect flank angle, but you guys managed to survive, even get a kill onto Cannon, and then secure the Baron. Well, even before the game started, while we were loading, we were just saying, their win condition is, Cannon flank. So we always kept that in mind. We were always aware of that. We always had our fingers ready, right on top of the buttons that we have to press when Cannon jumps on top of us, and our reaction was really on point in this game. In the final team fight as well, Cannon attempted another engage like that. So after reacting to that play, you guys managed to take down all of the opponents and rush towards enemy's nexus. Everyone was very excited. And then Deft also mentioning, they were losing a bit early on in the laning phase, but everyone else was like, what we won anyway, But Pyosik, you also said, what is this? So why were you so confused about the win? I mean, if you rewatch the situation, it's pretty fun. And the fact that we just beat Gen G, it's crazy. PDD, what about you? How did you feel right after that win? Yeah, I mean, somehow we all found the situation very funny, so we were all just laughing it off. And we were really, really happy and proud of ourselves. And after the last game, all the coaching staff jumped to the stage and hugged the players. Did they also give you any compliments? Like, yeah, you did a great job, great job, everyone. Now, there are only 2 matches remaining in the regular season. In the last week of the LCK, you will face DRX and then D plus Kia in the Saturday Showdown. What are your resolutions for these matches? I mean, we did take down, the top team in the LCK, but still, the next match is looking pretty dicey, so I want to just make sure that we maintain this form and, display the best performance. Just like BDD said, I hope you can get a big confidence boost based on the win today and then keep winning the remaining matches. And this will be the end of the interview from Pyosik BDD, and back to the space. Thank you.